If you're planning on moving down to Albuquerque this year, you're probably wondering what the cost of living is like going into 2026. Well, I'm here to tell you that things have gotten more expensive, and of course, like everything else, we're going to be touching base on what the current state of the market is and what you could expect to spend when you are looking to live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So grab your pen and your pad and let's get into today's video. Now, we came to walk some of the models over here at Pulte because we have people constantly asking us about these houses here, especially after doing that Conquista video, it just went off. So one topic that I wanted to bring up to you was the reality of buying a house here in Albuquerque and the costs that you can expect when it comes around that. Now, on average, a house in Albuquerque, just any regular house, is gonna cost you around $350,000, which speaks volume. In most areas, you're gonna be paying anywhere from $800,000 to $900,000 when you are talking about a major city. So tons of savings there. Now, when you are talking about a new house, on the average, $450,000 and $500,000 is gonna be about the price range that you're gonna be spending. In this house that I'm standing in, it starts in the low 500s. So if you are interested in something a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more updated, you can have it personalized to the gills. Pulte over here in Conquista Estates or any other Pulte neighborhood can help you in personalizing your house. But back to the topic of what you're going to be spending when it comes down to living and purchasing a house or even renting a house, because on average renting a house here in Albuquerque is going to be around $1,300, and that's for a decent 3-bedroom 2-bath house with a little bit of a yard. Instead of spending your money on a condo and paying that up towards a condo where you don't get a yard and maybe it's just kind of like a 1-bedroom 2-bedroom kind of thing, you can spend that same money down here in Albuquerque in the Southwest and get a ton more room. So what does that mean? That means that here in Albuquerque and even in the greater Albuquerque area, when you're talking about Rio Rancho, the East Mountains, and Los Lunas and the areas in between, you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck. So if you're ready to buy your first house or your next house, or you're ready to downsize, even if you're a local, I'd love to help you out. And that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. If you have any questions about this model, the Carissa model next door, or any other properties that are on the market, I'd love to get you that information. Hey, before we move forward with the video, I just wanted to hop in real quick just to thank you for stopping by the Living in Albuquerque channel. If this is your first time tuning in, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you never miss out on any videos, because I am dropping videos just like this one here, talking about everything New Mexico and everything that it has to offer, especially if you are planning on moving down here in the next year or so, because we'd love to help you out as well. And my name is Eli, and as much as I love doing these videos, as a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico, I'd love to help you out with your real estate needs. And that number popping up on the screen is my direct line, so feel free to call or text at any time, because we have a ton of people all across the country calling us, texting us, DMing us, asking us about all the top places to live here in Albuquerque, and we'd love to help you figure that out too. Now, if you aren't ready for all of that, we've created a free relocation guide for you to download. In the description down below is a link for you to download that relocation guide, so make sure you snatch that up and get to know Albuquerque a little bit more. But let's get back into the video. Now let's talk about the everyday expenses. In Albuquerque, it's not going to be anything ridiculously different, because in most cases we're about 10 to 20% less expensive in major cities when it comes down to utilities, groceries, and just like the day-to-day things. A big thing that I hear is that in comparison, gas is a lot cheaper here. On average, you can pay anywhere from $3.50 to a gallon when it comes to filling up your car. I know in some areas it's like almost $4.50, $5. It's pretty crazy. So cool trade-offs that you get with all that stuff. I know it's not anything spectacular or something to really jump up and down for, but savings is savings. If you can save an average of $300 to $500 a month on your bills monthly, that's a lot of money you can put towards a savings account, a retirement account, or even just a fund where you can vacation a lot more, buy yourself a gift, whatever it is that you want to do with that extra money. You can find that saving money here in Albuquerque, especially because you only need around $45,000 on average to live. You keep it basic simple. If you're making above that, because on average you're going to get paid anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 at any job that you get here, you're going to live a pretty good lifestyle. So spending money on groceries, you're going to see the comparisons aren't super big in difference. Gas is gonna be a big difference. Insurance is gonna be a little bit lower. Taxes in some cases, just all depending on your tax bracket. And if you're an elderly person or a vet, can save you a ton of money. And then also, if you're looking to purchase a house, even rent, you can save a ton of money there as well. Now, I've been asked before about like healthcare costs and tax benefits that people get when they relocate down here to New Mexico. And there's a ton of tax savings, especially if you're a retiree or over the age of 55 and are a disabled vet. Because in most cases, if you're a retiree, your taxes aren't gonna be taxed as high. And if you are a disabled veteran, you can pay virtually no taxes. Or even as a 55 plus, or I think it's 65 plus, one of the two. Don't quote me on that one there. Consult with your tax people, and this is not financial advice by any means, but I think at one of those age groups you can actually freeze your property taxes, that way that they don't go up and you continuously pay more and more taxes on your property taxes as the years go by. But on average, the healthcare situation is a little bit more expensive. You're going to be paying about 3% more on your healthcare. I'm not too sure if it's insurance or just like co-pays or whatever the case is. It was kind of like general when we did the Google search, but you can find that it is going to be a little bit more expensive, and the availability of doctors here is a little bit more slim. We do have all the doctors you can need, but just because we have not a whole lot in one particular area or whatever niche, like it's going to be harder for you to get a doctor's appointment, and it's going to be a little bit more far out. So make sure that you plan accordingly. Consult with your health professionals and your tax professionals before you head down here, just to make sure that it makes sense for you. I can truly say that a lot of our clients have told me, is it a comfortable lifestyle with the money that I'm making, the neighborhoods that I'm choosing, and everything that Albuquerque is? Can I truly live a comfortable lifestyle? And my answer is always yes. It's kind of hard sometimes though, because that question is totally subjective to somebody's lifestyle. Like if you're somebody that overspends and you can't seem to just really get a grasp on your finances, that's a personal conversation. But down to the basics, living a comfortable lifestyle here in Albuquerque is super easy to do. You're not gonna get this whole lifestyle where you're continuously having to feel like you gotta keep up, overextending yourselves just to have a certain image or whatever the case is. And this might be getting into the social aspects of it, but in that grand scheme of things, when you are making anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 a year, and that's on a single income, you can totally live a comfortable lifestyle. Now, if you got a partner that is making about the same and your income has doubled, just expect that your lifestyle is gonna be super comfortable. You're gonna be able to put money away, you're going to be able to afford things. And just to paint the picture for you, for an average family of four like ours, we spend around $4,000 a month on mortgage, groceries, regular day-to-day spending, going out and taking the kids for a 7 brew, for a treat, whatever the case is. That's what we spend yearly. Or monthly, I'm sorry. So that's around under $50,000 a year. So just to let you guys know, it's totally doable. It's super easy to live a comfortable lifestyle here. You're not gonna have to overextend yourselves unless you're wanting that next step in life. And that's, again, a totally different conversation for a different time. Real basic, just the essentials, the needs, paying for rent, groceries, a cup of coffee every so often, or every day if that's your forte, right? Like me, I'm a big coffee drinker. Then you are gonna be able to afford that if you are making that type of salary here. Before we close out, I just want to touch on some realities versus some expectations and all that stuff. The reality is that yes, it's a lot more cheaper to live, to work, to do all the different things here in Albuquerque than most major cities. Truth is that it's not cheap, it's reasonable. So you are gonna spend a little bit more money than you averagely would. I know about almost 8 years ago, a house on average would cost you under $200,000 here in Albuquerque. Now it's doubled, right? It's just the nature of the beast. But when you are comparing it to Los Angeles or Colorado, you're looking at about a fraction of the cost in housing when you are talking about a mortgage or even rent. Now, when you are looking at groceries, the reality is that it's not gonna be that much of a big difference. You are looking at anywhere from 10 to 20%, just all depending on where you're shopping. If you are doing a lot more co-ops, a lot more local shopping, of course there is going to be an extra added cost for that because it's all natural. It's straight from your neighbor's yard kind of thing. So I guess it's more of a luxury to be able to spend that instead of going to like a Walmart, Target, or Costco, whatever the case is. And people think that when I have this conversation about cost of living, that all your stress is going to go away. Stress is still going to be there. This is still life, and you still are going to have to pay your bills. You still are going to have to deal with people, and the regular nuances of the day-to-day are still going to be there. I guess the caveat to all that is that you're not going to feel constrained. You're not going to feel like you constantly have to keep up because of our culture, our lifestyle here, and just the overall expenditure of the day-to-day bills and everything that we spend just to live in this great city isn't going to be as a big of a chunk and a big of a hit to your monthly finances. So yeah, it's life. You're still gonna have to deal with crap, you're still gonna have to deal with people, and you're still gonna have to deal with those deadly bills that we all stress about every month. It's just a lot easier to stomach and manage when you're not gonna be spending an arm and a leg or double what you would spend in a major city. Oh, and before I forget, if you are contemplating moving down here and you just need a little bit more information, there's a link in the description down below for you to download a free relocation guide. That guide has helped out a ton of people all across the country with understanding Albuquerque, the neighborhoods, top things you could expect, and everything that comes with living here in this awesome city in the Southwest. So if you are ready to download that, hit the link. I hope that helps you out with making the decision about relocating down to Albuquerque, because life is simple here, more affordable. There isn't gonna be all these crazy things happening here that you see in major cities. It's slow, right? And we like it that way. And that's why you probably are looking to relocate down to a city like Albuquerque, just because you're tired of the high stress, high anxiety, tons of traffic, overexpending yourself on your daily bills and your mortgage and all that stuff. And you want to finally be able to afford a lifestyle that you can be proud of. If you are ready, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And as much as I love doing these videos, I'd love to help you out with your real estate needs. If you are looking to move down here, call or text us at any time, because me and my team are helping people all across the country with their move down to New Mexico. So I'm gonna get back inside. It's a little cold out today. You can see me wearing my sweater. It's about 50 degrees, and the little windshield is making my hands a little frio. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good weekend. Peace.